Now we're not muted. Now we're good.
Hello.
Hello.
You do this stiff neck
I have gravitas.
marionette gravitas. That's what I would name my mic, marionette
Gravitas.
gravitas.
Hey everybody. It's Fight2Flight with Kelly and Mike.
And that's accurate.
Yeah, we're. It's been a struggle the last few weeks to get this together. It's almost like the universe is just like, nah, you don't need a show.
Yeah, I mean, we don't.
Yeah, we don't need a show. I mean, we don't need to inflict our musings onto.
That doesn't mean we don't respect and appreciate people like Joe Walsh who show up routinely.
Dedicated.
Dedicated,
Yeah,
thank you.
every time. Thanks, Joe. So we're trying something new. We're doing it on Sunday afternoons. That was just really a struggle. We've got the can't really call them kids anymore. Can't really call them teens. We've got the people, the young adults, trying to take flight. Trying to do family stuff, and it's just tough to do on a weekend. So, as many of you, I'm sure, understand. So, we're trying something a little bit different. Trying an evening show that we're still kind of in work mode. I had a long day of a very good conference about hospital readmissions for people with COPD and how to minimize
Not that I'm smiling about the content, but just
Well, no, but it was motivating because it's always nice to we haven't had many conferences. I haven't done hardly any conferences in the last 2 years since the pandemic. And we were, I was really thriving on going out and meeting new people and seeing new places. And we're really fortunate with a lot of that sort of thing. So that was really cool. And so it's nice to see some of that start kicking up again. Hoping to go to a couple others later this year. Maybe go down to, definitely going to Florida, maybe even New Orleans. So, but it was nice to see other people motivated to the same cause, sharing same values, engaged, interested, intrigued, motivated discussion. It was great to see that sort of thing.
I'm glad that invigorated you today. I'm a bit of a mess. We went to the island over the weekend, and I understand there's been quite a sinus infection, head cold thing going around. Hashtag not COVID, and I did check. But I came back with a rip-roaring version of this. I am going to choose to celebrate that my immune system is being strengthened. But you saw me just push on my eyeballs. Yesterday, I looked like a straight up demon with red eyes. So I don't know if it was the increased pressure due to the sinus pressure and pain or whatever bacteria, viral stuff is going on. But my eyes are already big, but trying to go back to a little bit less demonic. And I still sound a little.
I was going to say, you have seemed very uncomfortable the last couple of days.
Yeah. I have been really. I'm sorry, I've been very dramatic and not gracious about feeling completely poopy.
We joked around about how she ended up somehow with a case of the man flu, inexplicably, but it really turned into, you can tell when somebody's just kind of like, oh, what was me, and when somebody's like really messed up.
I didn't want to use that term publicly because I guess it is pretty, it's not fair, but anyway, I've been a little bitch baby about it. But I'm on the mend, and I've been invigorated and excited about understanding my work more, which means I work more, so I'm more tired at times. But that's good. The identity crisis is not at its peak anymore. Things are getting better, certainly. So, yes, I last night, I think. No, night before, here I'll tell you, I was concerned about my airway, and my sweet husband comes to bed, and I'm like, honey, I'm really worried, like, I'm scared. I'm afraid I'm going to die tonight. I am swollen, and it's bad. You said something dismissive, and I was like, ah! And left and went to the couch, which I could use the couch arm and at least elevate my head, and I thought, great, my respiratory therapist is blowing me off, and I'm just going to be in the other room.
That's what we call a blow-by treatment.
There are so many things I could say that aren't appropriate for the show. Anyway, I lived through it.
That is kind of the theme is reinvigoration, though, right now. I mean, we're on the mend. We're trying to get into this routine. We're trying to, we had a good program today. It's springtime, which has been really nice to see the sun for more than 3 hours in a row. That's been pretty cool. So yeah, so here we are. We're here on Thursday night, and we've been oscillating between 3 and 4 people viewing. So that's high territory for us. So what was we're talking about? As we get reinvigorated and we find these projects, like even this, we've how it's about how did you put that? It's
You were listening to me? I was just rambling. Just before?
Yeah, I was listening.
If you're going to choose to add activities, in this day and age especially, does it bring value? Is it effective? Does it invigorate you? Does it inspire you? Is it worth something to you and those around you? Otherwise, is it just another activity where you're just adding expectations and then it's difficult to measure up,
Yeah, I think this is one of those times where sometimes we're our own worst critics, and we want to do things, and we see this a lot on the weekend. You and I in particular, because Saturday, we go to bed Friday, and we're like, yeah, this weekend we're gonna rock it. We're gonna get up early Saturday, like we used to, and we're gonna go to the farmers market. And we're gonna play tennis.
Well, that does motivate getting up, is going there.
Yes, and hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. And then we're going to come home, and then, we're going to, start weeding the backyard and, putting the mulch down and all this sort of thing. And we get up at like 10 o'clock because we've just had long weeks.
We stay up late laughing with the younger generation.
And we just kind of sit there and we watch YouTube videos and we watch Netflix, and then Sunday we can often get things done, but but then you get into that kind of cycle where it gets to be like 4 o'clock on Saturday and you haven't really done anything. Not you personally, but one. Has
but
not.
Also personally, I Saturday's play day.
But I mean, no different than me. I'm not trying to single you out, I guess is what I'm saying, because I'm not doing anything either.
We look at each other and enable that, but I think being off, and I think if we shut off our phones and don't also just work and check emails and stuff, there's really something beautiful to that. And some religions that want you to do that, there's a real beauty to that. There's a beauty to fasting at times. There's a beauty to, giving things up. There's a beauty to not working. And so I think so long as you dedicate time, but you're effective and productive, meeting your own goals and expectations that are healthy ones, the rest of the week, that's fine. So just letting go of that guilt.
And I think you touch on some good points. I think a lot of it kind of comes down to are the goals realistic? Like we talked about, because we've kicked around, do we want to do a weekly show? Do we want to do every other week? What is sustainable for us? Because we've been trying to do this, regularly for a while, and it just, this, with going up to the island and with everything else that's been going on, it's just been, it's been tricky to maintain. So what is a realistic thing for us in our phase of life with, 2 kids we're trying to launch, 2 youngers that we're trying to launch, one that's about to start driver's ed, and all this sort, all these kinds of things. What is realistic for us so that we don't get into the whole idea of guilting ourselves into something and making it a chore rather than something we enjoy?
Well, I mean, I see, I can tell I'm not 100%.
I have a mucus cleaner if you want to.
That might be a strange thing to have on next to the microphone, but I think I feel loyal to the people that show up. I want to always honor that because it's such a, not to sound so cheesy, but it is really, we feel really honored and blessed that people even want to say hi to us.
Well, and that's part of what makes an investment worthwhile, right? I mean, if people show up for you, you want to show up for them.
Yeah, so that's the most important part.
That's what we do. That's what we do in healthcare. That's what we do in advocacy work. That's what we do in research. I mean, it's when people are counting on you, or for one, or not even necessarily counting on you, but when they're waiting for you, waiting on you. I don't know.
Even planning to know the time to show. I mean, just investing and showing up. It's nice to know that that's honored and respected, and it's mutual. So yeah. I know, no matter how messy this has been, Joe, I'll tell you, anyone who may watch it later or watch it, anonymously, it's you that we really appreciate. This, there's no point to us doing this unless it, connecting still has some value, and we can also reshape that. It's not like we don't have some grand agenda here,
No,
and during the pandemic, we had the time, energy, and resources, in a different way. So
I happen to be looking over toward the bed there, and I see our stuffed animals from our trip to San Diego. Our big family trip, what was it, in 2017, I think it was?
18.
18.
Yeah, even years for my conferences. Yeah.
And I saw a news thing today that the beloved koalas, or the koalas, are going to be coming to John Ball Zoo in Grand Rapids this summer. They're having a special koala exhibit. So, hadn't had a chance to verbalize that. But yeah, that's...
You want to tell them how I responded when I saw the koalas?
You can do that.
No.
It was one of those things that, we've had zoos in our life, of course, for a long time, in the aquarium in Chicago and all that sort of thing. But we hadn't really been to, one of the world famous kind of zoos ever before. And we were in San Diego for Kelly's conference. And you've always wanted to see koala bears.
Yeah, I had a stuffed koala when I was a little girl, and it had its own little log home, which I always wanted to. And we called him Potbelly Bear.
And so we get to the area of the zoo that is in San Diego that is koalas, and the look of pure joy, and I think you were clapping your hands and just koalas.
I couldn't talk. I was crying. I'm crying, so that's why I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell the story. I was like that meme girl. I think that was me, the one that's like, yeah, like you were at the first Lego place.
Oh yeah,
the pop-up Lego place. So
see, those are the things that we especially these days, we've got to find those things that bring us that kind of joy. Fortunately or unfortunately, we're often doing them online these days, but that doesn't make them any less joyous necessarily.
Right.
So.
Well, that's a good memory.
Yeah.
And I'm loving. I bought you Puff the Magic Dragon back here for when you were at your clinic.
Yeah.
So I like seeing him back there. Makes me happy.
Yeah, I was who was I was just talking with I was just writing a blog post for the foundation about how we both, I think, strove to in our clinic spaces, tried to make them not be clinical.
Oh yeah.
Because we know that and this was actually a regular theme today during the Readmissions Institute was, it's always so clinical. It's always so sterile. It's always so, these are the numbers and this is this. And we've got to remember that in healthcare, we're talking about people, right? And, maybe you're not sitting across a desk and imposing a barrier or imposing distance on somebody. Maybe you're sitting near them or next to them or something that's 6 feet apart, I guess. But still...
I had an experience today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, we've got to still make sure that we're finding time for those connections, because it's the connection that often sparks the joy.
I was a stranger in a clinic, or not a clinic, an office near mine. And my manager has connections there. And so I thought it might be a one-time gig. A couple weeks ago, I drew blood for one amazing researcher, actually. And so anyway, I was asked to be phlebotomist again, phlebotomist, nurse practitioner. And so I thought it was going to be one person. And then, the whole team, this amazing group of people. And so I was really excited about their dynamic and their dedication to their work. And I don't have their permission to talk openly about all this, so I won't right now unless I get to know them more. But I was essentially some strange woman introducing myself as Kelly, a nurse practitioner, blah, 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 with each of them, like an interview, speed interview, while I drew their blood for, they're trying to map out a laboratory process. And each time, it was connecting with a new person. And one guy was like, yeah, I can tell you're pretty cool. And he even swore, he was like, we look young, And I was like, yeah, right, we hear that. He was like, yeah, fuck yeah. And I was like, he goes, is that okay? I'm like, that's totally okay. Sorry about the show. It's a family show. Yeah. And then he was like, cool. I really like you. And then he was leaving, saying to the next guy, coming in or the next gal. She's cool. Like, well, yeah, yeah. We're all people here, right? And I'm poking a needle, and you don't know me. Let's swear about it.
Let's swear about that.
It was, but I really do enjoy connecting with people, even when I feel like a blob of snot.
One of the other RTs I was talking today was they called their anonymous patient Mr. Phlegm. So that was.
Oh well, I would be Mrs.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Ms.
Ms. Phlegm if you're nasty.
There you go.
Okay, I need to be taken off the show.
Well, it's certainly entertaining, that's for sure. And doing it
That's
at
my
night
goal.
like this, so
Yeah, it was like medicine or comedy.
yeah, there you go.
So why not
Why not both?
We're this creepy couple. So our son has been on Discord talking with one of his best friends tonight, and Joe's going to be validating us here, right? And he has noted us on social media and said to Tommy, "Man, your parents really do be loving each other, though."
It's true. It's true.
We're kind of ridiculous.
So, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, which by all accounts is just kind of a disaster all around. So that's I don't even know what to say about that. But apparently Johnny Depp owns a small island in the Bahamas. Boy, that must be nice to own your whole entire island.
Hope you don't have to heat a home.
I guess so. If you can afford the island, you can
Right.
afford the.
Guess you're not worried about it.
And also points out phlebotomist is good, lobotomist is bad.
Did I get caught in the phlegm?
No, I think it's
No, that's true. That's true.
we need the dad joke contingent tonight. So
Yes. Yep. Very, very much so. The other thing we've thought about, if we continue the show, and again, we don't have to force this upon the universe. We can kind of like respond PRN when people want something too. But if this time slot ends up working, I think a brief show weekly would be pretty manageable.
yeah, I think
You
so.
know, it doesn't. We don't have to just riff for.
Well, yeah, man, we've watched enough YouTube now to know that like that 15 to 30, we'll call it range, usually works really well for a lot of people on YouTube, and keeps it accessible, and it doesn't not too much dead space. It's not like a telethon show where you've got to bring in the
Those get
juggling
really
penguins or
uncomfortable.
something, it's-
Yeah, right. So that said, I guess anyone, whether you're watching now or later, if you'll message, is there content you want? Twice a day? You want to see us twice a day, Joe Walsh? Or maybe he means twice a decade.
BI decade.
Anyway,
So give us some ideas. We're always happy to talk about what's going on in our lives, because we like to think that we're somewhat relatable, and we want people to know that it's really easy to feel like you're alone all the time, or not even all the time. It's really easy to feel like you're the only one going through a particular thing, and we want people to know that they're not.
yeah, you can just keep rolling down the hill. Yeah, I mean, we're all flawed, we're all imperfect, but we experience true joy, and most importantly, we like to be reminded of the love out there
Yes.
in these times of isolation and sort of desperation. So
I will also say that we are also hungry, because I opted to, instead of dinner time, I opted to play a video game for a while. So, 'cause, we were joking this morning. I didn't have my usual wake up time where I do the Wordle or something like that, and so I thought about playing a game, and then I got sucked into a rabbit hole too right before this presentation. So it was so I took advantage of evening downtime.
well you should. So
All right, so thank you, Joe, for showing up again. Stopping by, showing up, said at the same time is gibberish. So, fun fact of the day. So,
all right,
we'll try this for a couple of weeks and see how it goes.
we'll see how it goes.
And spread the word, and let us know what you like. Let us know food. Oh, hey, Kevin Clark showing up. Hey, Kevin. So yeah, let us know what we should talk about, if anything, or let us know if we should just stand here and let you throw tomatoes at us and get the crook off the stage. So the yank, the gong,
yeah.
or the gong.
Right.
We'll just do all the shows. High quality entertainment here, folks.
Does the dragon need to like blow fire at us?
Oh, how cool would that be, though? Well, I guess it would be warm, but...
I'm literally having a phlegm attack, and I really need to go drink some water.
All right, so yeah, let's shut the microphone down before that happens. So we'll try this for a little bit. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.
Love you guys for showing up. Thank you, Kevin and Joe.